Sports, 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 sports.
Hey there, sports fans. Welcome to Sportsball, part of the SPDM Crew Podcasting Network. We talk about sports related topics, but we focus on you, the fan, and what you like, whether it's a sport, team, athlete, sports related news, or sports related event. This week, we are talking about the NBA Cup as group play is now over, and we have 8 teams vying for the Emirates NBA Cup. And the championship game in Vegas coming up in a couple weeks. So the 8 teams that we have in the quarterfinals, and both those. Anyways, we have on the East. We've got on the East, we've got the Orlando Magic, we've got the Miami Heat, so the Battle of Florida. That's nice. We've got the Toronto Raptors, the New York Knicks, and then in the West, we have the San Antonio Spurs, the Los Angeles Lakers, the Phoenix Suns, and the Oklahoma City Thunder. For the most part, a lot of these teams feel like they would be a natural pick for the playoffs. But some of these, it's a little curious to see how these teams got here when it came to the NBA Cup in the East. So Group A was the Toronto Raptors, the Atlanta Hawks, Cleveland Cavaliers, Indiana Pacers, and the Washington Wizards. The Torontos went undefeated in group plays, so it made sense for them to be the one to advance. And then you have in Group B, you have the Orlando Magic, who also went undefeated in group play, but they bested the Boston Celtics, Detroit Pistons, Philadelphia 76ers, and the Brooklyn Nets. Group C is where we've got 2 teams. So the New York Knicks won their group, but then the Miami Heat got in with a wild card spot, and they beat the Milwaukee Bucks, the Charlotte Hornets, and the Chicago Bulls. Group A in the West, we have the Oklahoma City Thunder, who are just kind of trucking through everyone right now. They went undefeated in group play, and then the Phoenix Suns got in with a wild card berth, but then they beat in the rest of their group Minnesota Timberwolves, the Sacramento Kings, and the Utah Jazz. The Los Angeles Lakers won their group against the Memphis Grizzlies, the Los Angeles Clippers, Dallas Mavericks, and the New Orleans Pelicans. And the San Antonio Spurs won against the Denver Nuggets, Houston Rockets, Portland Trailblazers, and Golden State Warriors, which to me, that would have been the group is like, oh, I kind of wonder who's getting out of that. So if we take a look at the teams that are kind of vying for the NBA Cup right now, I'm gonna rank who I think would be the team that's actually like gonna gun to win this versus the team that I think has all the talent to actually win this, because a small part of this is actually giving a shit about the NBA Cup as well, which is why I think that both the Lakers and the Oklahoma City Thunder, I kind of want to mark them out right now because I don't think either of them care about this. For so in the first NBA Cup, the Los Angeles Lakers won, and then last year the Milwaukee Bucks won. 2 teams that veteran teams that knew how to play together. However, I just don't think that the Oklahoma City Thunder are really going to give a crap about this. They're the defending NBA champs. They have by far the best team in the NBA, so they don't care. Whereas I think the Phoenix Suns are a team that feels like this could actually be beneficial for them as a team to prove that they can actually do this. Plus, also, same thing with the San Antonio Spurs. They haven't won yet. They're still trying to find a way to gel together. So like if I'm going with my West semifinal, I'm very tempted to pick Spurs and Suns for this because I think Oklahoma City is going to want to get home rest and just call it a day. With the quarterfinals in the East, I think the Knicks, all of these teams, it would make sense for them to try to win the NBA Cup simply because the Knicks haven't won anything The Toronto Raptors, their NBA championship is starting to slowly but surely become further and further away. The Magic are a young upstart team, and they haven't had a lot of success. They've only been in the finals a couple of times, and they both got trucked during that. And then the Miami Heat, who they've got a young team, and you could tell that this would probably mean a lot to them. So the East is a lot more compelling than the teams in the West. Between the Miami Heat and the Orlando Magic, I'm going to give it to the Miami Heat because I think that they're just better equipped with the right coach with Spoelstra. And I think this would mean a lot more to them. And I'm going to do the same with the Toronto Raptors as well. Toronto Raptors have been playing really good basketball lately, and I think New York is probably going to think this is beneath them. So for my semifinals in the East, I'm going to go Miami and Toronto, and then that would leave our championship game, which I'm going to think that it's the Spurs and I'm going to think that it's the Heat. So, and I think that this tournament feels like this is Miami's to lose. I don't know why. Conventional sense would dictate that Oklahoma City should just run through this and just call it a day. But I do think at some point they're going to be like if they could forfeit, I could see a scenario where they would. But so that's who I'm predicting to win the NBA Cup out of the quarterfinal teams. I'm picking the Miami Heat, but I would not be surprised if the San Antonio Spurs or the Toronto Raptors kind of eke this out. So, what are your thoughts on the NBA Cup? Are you enjoying it so far? Are you excited about these next group of games? Let me know in the comments below. But that's going to do it for this episode of Sportsball. Be sure to like, rate, and subscribe to anything and everything SPDM Crew, wherever you get your podcast. Join us on social media on Facebook, Instagram, X, Threads, YouTube, LinkedIn, and Blue Sky at SPDM Crew. Check out our website at spdmcrew.com. Shout out to High Flyer Creative Studios for making our awesome logo. Greatly appreciate their support. And if you have any marketing, logo, or brand standard needs, contact them at highflyercreative.com. Check out the other shows on our network. We're really proud of the content that everyone's putting out. So thank you to all of them. And if you've got a podcast idea or you're interested in being part of the SPDM Crew as a guest or collaborating, email us at spdmcrew@gmail.com. Until next time, pain heals, chicks dig scars, glory lasts forever.